My name is Reggie Middleton. I'm the disruptor in chief at Veritaseum. That is my job title. Other people may know as CEO and founder. And Veritaseum is software and financial consultancy. Basically, we are creating structures on the public blockchain that allow people to do business peer-to-peer directly with each other without having to go through a trusted third party. So it's a fancy way of saying we enable everybody to do business with each other without knowing each other or trusting each other safely.
So, is there a difference between the blockchain technology and Veritaseum?
Yes. So the blockchain technology is the blockchain is a platform, just like the internet is a platform. Veritaseum is a private company that writes applications on top of blockchain. Applications like the Veda, which is our investment and value transfer application. This is an application written on top of blockchain. It's an application designed to run anywhere you have an internet connection. Cell phones, tablets, computers, anywhere. The internet is another platform, okay? And on Google and Facebook are private companies, and they write web applications on top of the internet. So think of the blockchain as the internet, and think of us as a Google or Facebook. Okay, so this is the blockchain here, and this is Veritaseum there. Okay.
So, what do you have? You said you operate in a finance macroeconomy.
Yes.
And you also work towards technology.
And technology.
So, what is your value proposition for the country?
Several. I'll give you the short answer, and then we'll go through basically a short history and my way of seeing things, because I'm a maverick. I think very, very differently. I was always a kid that was never included in the clique or the group, but it caused me to be an independent thinker. So, in general, I think in global macro terms. You know, a lot of people have a target market of, say, Southern Lagos, Victoria Island, maybe Nigeria, West Africa, the African continent, maybe America. I think of the entire world, plus, okay? I see Africa as one of the most potentially powerful unions in the world, okay? Easily rivaling and surpassing the EU. My plan, my goal is to create a Pan-African economic token that unites all 54 countries in Africa, okay, through one economic token, and enables each economy, each economic union, each exchange, each group of business and companies, each group of citizens, savers, workers, etc., to unite economically, and so you have synergy, where 1 + 1 equals 2.5 versus 2. This has been tried before and done before, successfully and not successfully. The most successful application of this economic union is the United States. The United States of America is 50 individual states that were banded together under one economic union. They consequently had the reserve dollar, reserve currency, which is US dollar. They're the largest economic force in the world. They're the largest most powerful political force in the world, and they have the largest standing military. And that's because of that unity. The European Union, the EU, has tried to do the same thing, but they did it using faulty methods, in my opinion. They have 17 countries with disparate languages, disparate economies, disparate cultures, 17 different central banks, 17 different currencies. They tried to mush them together to create the European Union and the euro, and one economic token, basically, which they call a currency. And what happened? It's falling apart. The reason is you can't take 17 different pieces, make it one without breaking something. Now, if we succeed in this unison, right, you have the largest store of natural resources in the world, bar none. Okay, the second largest store is probably the US, in North America, which is the most powerful and richest country in the world. And the US pales in comparison to Africa as a continent. And the US is not even a continent, it's a country. It pales in comparison to Africa in actual natural resources. All this gold, the vast majority of it comes right from Africa. Much of the oil, much of bauxite, etc. Very, very rich. But despite this large store of wealth, right, most of the economic benefit value accrues in Europe, in America, and even in Asia. So by uniting, the 54 countries in Africa and creating peer-to-peer exchanges where you keep lots of the value, much of the value in Africa, we create significant value here. A Pan-African Union can surpass the EU and compete directly with China, okay, and the Southeast Pacific target nations. How would this work? When China entered the WTO, the World Trade Organization, China's economy was not as hot as the South Korean economy, nor the Japanese economy. But the difference is China had 1.1 billion people. So they don't have to be running as fast because they have a lot more people to run. Okay, the Pan-African Union, take Africa as a whole, has 1.25 billion people. And they have something that China doesn't have and didn't have, and that is, trillions of dollars worth of natural resources under the soil. So that's my goal. Now, in doing all this, I want to explain more of what I do, but I want to go through semantics and definitions. What we're looking is we're not trying to compete with central banks. We're not trying to create a new currency. We're trying to create a store of value that is uniform and usable by anybody.
How does this help in unifying the 54 African countries?
When you say this, you mean the token?
Yeah, the token that you
So, give you an example. So here we have a token now, right? The token represents gold. Everybody agrees. I'm assuming everybody agrees gold has value. Do you think gold has value?
Yeah.
And you think it has value? And has a steady value. It's actually printed every few minutes as the spot price of gold. Okay, the problem is most people don't have gold because gold is expensive, okay? And gold is also very difficult to store, very difficult to keep safe, very difficult to travel. You can travel, I travel with this 1 ounce to show everybody what I'm doing. But if it was a large amount of gold, let's say, 100 kilograms, I just can't carry that around. If I do, I leave myself subject to getting robbed, dropping it, losing it, etc.
Or even giving yourself the exercise of carrying.
I'd be pretty big actually, right? So what we've done was we created digital gold, where we store the gold, right, in a COMEX approved vault. We insure it with Lloyd's of London, and we secure it with Brinks. Okay, these are all Brinks security. These are all the top of the line businesses of security, storage, and insurance. And then we create title to the gold, like title to a house or a deed to a property. There's a deed to the property underneath this building. It belongs to somebody. When you sell the building, you don't have to take the building up and carry it, to the other side of Victoria Island and drop it off. You just take the paper deed and you transfer it to somebody else. So what we've created was a paper deed or a deed to the gold, but instead of being paper, it's digital, in the form of a digital token. That digital token rides along the blockchain and goes through smart contracts, which are the agreements I explained. And the smart contracts, because they can't be broken, right, enable you to do almost whatever you want with it. You could create an agreement or contract that the token could go to you to age 34, then you, and lets you assets fall below a certain level. If it does, then it transfers to her. Okay, this all creates what you call smart money, and then that smart money is universally accepted as gold. Now, since not everybody can afford gold, which I think right now is about $1,220 an ounce-ish, US dollars. Not everybody can afford that. I explain here where this token is divisible 18 decimal points out. The Naira and the US dollar and the Euro have 2 decimal points. So you can have $1 or you can have $1.50. You can have $1.23 a Naira, which is $1.23 Naira. Okay? Past that, you can't get more granular than that 1/100th of a Naira, if I'm not mistaken. With this, you can have 1.1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 of an ounce of gold. So that would translate into less than 1 Naira. Okay, easily less than 1 Naira, which is affordable by anybody, from the homeless guys on the street, as long as they have a cell phone, to the guy with 40, 30, 50, 60 billion dollars, and everybody in between. They all use the exact same system backed by a cell phone, computer, or tablet. So, and you don't need a bank account necessarily. So this could serve the unbanked and those who own banks and everybody in between. And that's the power of the Eco token.